Hello, A group and other kids who are at home. Thank you for watching your video like you're supposed to. This video is going to be short. We're just going to be talking about parallel lines, all right? Kind of review of algebra stuff that you did with parallel lines. So this first section is actually like a try it on your own section. So what I want you guys to do is pause this video, all right, and try the first section. You're going to graph these points right here, which I already have graphed. Then you're going to create these two lines, GH and IJ. What do you notice about those two lines? Then you're going to find their slopes. What do you notice about their slopes? So I want to see if you guys can do this on your own and figure it out. So go ahead and pause the video now and try it. Okay, so hopefully you've tried it on your own and you didn't just wait for me to be done pausing. So we're going to see if you guys got it right. So I'm going to create the lines, okay? I'm bad at making lines, so it's going to be like that. Then we're going to do the same thing with IJ, all right? What do you notice between the two lines? Well, it appears to me like the lines are parallel, and that makes sense because what are we talking about today? So next it wants us to find their slopes, all right? So I'm going to find the slopes of these two lines, all right? Remember, we find the slopes by figuring out the rise and the run. So if we count here, we're going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going up 6 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So up 6 over 5. We do the same thing here. We are going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 6 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, also over 5. So their slopes are both 6 over 5. So this should be an easy question. What do you notice about their slopes? They're the same. And so we can use this to write the slope of parallel lines postulate, right? I don't know if that's a real postulate, but that's what we're calling it. Lines are parallel. And it wants us to write it as a biconditional. So remember, biconditional means if and only if. So lines are parallel if and only if their slopes are the same. Okay? So parallel lines have the same slope. You should know that already, but in case you didn't, all right, I just kind of showed it to you. We're going to be using that fact to answer some questions, all right? Question 1 says line M passes through -1, 4, and -4, 3. Line N passes through 3, 1, and 2, -2. Are they parallel? So in order to figure out if they're parallel, we need to figure out our two lines' slope. So I'm going to figure out the slope of line M first. So since we only know it goes through these 2 points, all right, we need to use our slope formula that we learned yesterday. So we've got 3 minus 4 over -4 minus -1. So 3 minus 4, that's -1. -4, that ends up being +1, right? That's -3, so this equals a third, all right? So line M has a slope of 1/3. We're going to do the same thing with N. All right, so again, we're going to label our points. For some reason, this Y won't work. There we go. X2, comma, Y2. So we've got Y2, -2, -1. And then X2 is 2, X1 is 3. So 2 minus 3. So we've got -2 minus 1, that's -3. 2 minus 3, that's -1. So this equals 3. So are they parallel? No, they are not parallel. All right, because this one's 1/3 and that one's 3. So it's close, all right, but it's actually the reciprocals of each other. So that's not parallel. So this one would be no. Question 2, write the equation of a line that is parallel to this line and passes through this point. Okay, we can do this, all right? Since it's going through a point, we're going to use our handy dandy point slope form that we also talked about yesterday, all right? And we know that our slope is going to be right here. So we want to figure out our slope, all right? So our slope is going to be parallel to this line, all right? That means it's going to have the same slope as that line. So this line's slope is 3, all right? Because mx plus b, m is the slope, so we want our slope to be 3. And then we want to plug in our point. So our point is -2, 7. So there's our x value, there's our y value. So our y value is 7, so we're going to have y minus 7. Our x value is -2, so this is going to turn into x plus 2, okay? And we're done. That's our equation, okay? So if you know point slope form, you can do these problems pretty easily. Number 3, find the slope of the line 2x minus 4y equals 16. Now, we actually didn't do this yesterday. This isn't in slope-intercept form, so if we want to find the slope of the line, if you remember, we just want to turn it into slope-intercept form. So in order to turn it into slope-intercept form, there's 2 steps. Slope-intercept form has y by itself and x on the other side, so we need to move x over. So that's what our first step is going to be, is subtract x. So we've got -4y equals -2x plus 16. These are not like terms, right? Those are not like terms. So all we're doing is just kind of moving it over. Then we want to divide by -4 because we want to get our y by itself. So we cross that out. We can simplify here, -2 over -4, that's a half. So we've got 1/2 x, and then 16 divided by -4, that's -4. So this equation is actually y equals 1/2 x minus 4, and you should notice that now it's in y equals mx plus b. So if you want to get it into y equals mx plus b, you just need to solve for y. So the slope now we can see is a half, okay? This equation says, write the equation of a line that is parallel to the line above and passes through the point 2, -7. Wow, what are the chances that those are just opposite? I must have not been very original when I made these questions. Anyway, so we want it to be parallel to that line, all right? So just like before, we're going to put this in slope-intercept form. Our slope is a half, so we're going to put 1/2 right after the equal sign because that's where our slope goes in point slope form. Now we're going to plug in our point values. So our x value is 2. Our y value is -7, so this is going to become +7. And then our 2 is going to go next to our x. So we're going to have y plus 7 equals 1/2 x minus 2. Last question. All right. Find a value for j so that the line through j -10 and 5 -6 is parallel to the line y equals -1/4 x plus 3. Okay, so if it's parallel to that line, we want our slope to be -1/4. Okay, so let's just take these, all right, and just plug them into our slope formula. All right, we've got x1, y1, x2, y2. So let's just plug in what we have. So y2 minus y1. So we've got -6 minus -10. x2 minus x1, that's 5 minus j. Okay. Well, we know -6 minus 10, that becomes -6 plus 10, right? Over 5 minus j. -6 plus 10, that's 4. So we have 4 over 5 minus j equals -1/4. All right. This is what we know, right? So we need to figure out what number is going to go in here for j that will make this equal -1/4. So this problem's a little tough. All right. What we're doing, all right, is basically trying to solve a puzzle, right? We have a 1 on top here and a 4 on bottom. We have a 4 on top here. So this is going to be, this one right here is going to be a reduced version of this, all right? So what do we need to be on bottom? All right, that's the question. So if we look here at the ratio, right, this is being multiplied by 4, right? So if we reduce this over to here, we're reducing it by dividing by 4. So we want to keep that same ratio. So we want this to kind of be multiplied by 4. So basically we want this number on bottom to be 16, right? Because if that was 16, 4 over 16 would equal 1 over 4. Now this is negative 1 over 4 though, so since the 4 on top is positive, all right, we want this number on bottom to actually be negative. So we kind of need that to actually be negative 16. So if we think about it that way, we need 5 minus j to equal negative 16. Okay? And if we do that and we solve this equation, we can kind of figure out if we subtract 5 on both sides, negative 16 minus 5, that's negative 21. Divide by negative 1, all right, and we get j equals 21. So in order for that line to have the same slope as negative 1/4, we need j to actually be 21. Okay, so I know this problem was a little tough, but that's what they want you to do on this problem. So go ahead and try the practice, all right, for this. If you have any questions, let me know. There is a challenge problem on the question. I want you to try it, all right? I really think that you guys can get it. You might have to go back to some old notes from Unit 1, but I think that you guys can figure it out. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you guys on Monday.